Forgiveness will set you free. Forgiveness does not really benefit the other person as much as it benefits you, the one who is forgiving them. And that's because you have these stories possibly that you're telling yourself with your mind, your ego, whatever you want to call that. Watch my last video for more information on that. But basically, we all fall into that trap of the mind sometimes. Maybe not all of us, but I still do. And I have these stories that I tell myself about the past, which is an illusion. It's just another present moment. But I still have these memories that occasionally come into my mind. And it's more of a feeling that I have towards certain people that I really care about, that I felt I needed to share that with them, or just, it's a weird thing to care about all these people and you don't talk to them anymore at all. And I realized that I was telling myself a story about what they thought of me, or what, everything like that. And I decided to apologize to one person in particular, and it really just set me free from all of the constant overthinking about that situation. And it's really just doing me a service, honestly. And with other situations, I've just been telling people how I feel more, and just realizing that I don't know how long I've got here. Nobody does. You never know if you're going to get the chance to tell them how you really feel. Life is way too short to hold back from telling people what you really think. And when you actually just admit that you were wrong about something, admit that you treated someone a way that you don't agree with now. Of course, these are all beliefs, and you could say what's good, what's bad, but whenever you make someone feel, a bad feeling in their heart, like I definitely am embarrassed about, like, so many things that I have done to certain people, just how I've treated them, and knowing how I probably made them feel. And now that I see life from a different perspective, I want to return to some of those people and be like, I'm really sorry, because that wasn't really how I felt about you. Some of those things I said, I always actually did care about you. It was just me projecting my own self-hate onto other people because I didn't love myself, always grasping for someone else to love me back, being overly attached to things and thinking that I have ownership over certain people, almost in my mind, like not letting them be free, holding them back from living their life. And, all of these people have helped me more than anybody else, and they weren't even trying to help me. And that's what's so awesome about life. And I know that I'm still connected to these people in some way because my intuition always tells me certain things, and it's never wrong. So I've decided to start following my heart in every way, and sometimes that means telling people I'm really sorry, or telling them how I feel about them, if it's a good thing, So I just encourage you, if you're somebody who feels like you've got all this hatred and anger built up towards somebody else that is ultimately just you, on a higher level, there's no reason to do that, because you're only damaging yourself. That's all that's happening. It's only keeping you a prisoner of your mind. It's not hurting them if that's what you're trying to do. But, when you really understand it, you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to have any negative feelings towards someone like that. And I used to have those, and that's kind of what inspired this channel in a way, was a lot of these dark times with some of these people. And I'm breaking out of my identity by, sharing how I really feel with them, even though I've been telling myself for so long that, that's just too much. I can't do that. But now I don't care as much about my identity being damaged, and I'm working on that each day. And this is breaking me out of that, and making these videos definitely does that for me. And I just hope that somebody out there can forgive somebody today. I know one of you watching has somebody that you feel like you've done wrong, you want to apologize to, or you want to forgive for something they did to you, or maybe even both, because normally in a long relationship between two people, both sides make what we could call mistakes, but we know that everything happens for a reason, and that's why it's all meant to happen this way. You chose it to happen that way, and you could see the person that you've become because of those moments, but you still might feel like that person doesn't really know how bad you feel about it, or they don't know that you've changed and you kind of want to make things right with them. And you don't have to do this. It's not like you have to, but forgiveness just helps set you free. And if, of course, it makes them feel better probably too, because they feel like, this person doesn't hate me, because they might be on the other end thinking you hate them, when in reality you love them and you care more about them than anyone. But you've been acting like you hate them. You've just been ignoring them. You haven't talked to them in forever. So you might as well just let them know how you feel. However they feel about that, what does it matter if you haven't been talking to this person, or even if you have? The relationship will always be better if you forgive and know how to forgive and understand that we all make mistakes with our ego. We all get caught. There are things that I wish I would have done differently, but at the same time, if I would have done them differently, it wouldn't have happened in the perfect way that it did, and I wouldn't be making these videos. I wouldn't know what it's like to be depressed and down and seeing the darkest of dark points. To me, at least, like, I was very, very down at one point, and now that I've come up from that a bit, I would like to go back and almost patch the past in a way, even though it's just an illusion in my mind. It does help somebody right now. It helps me and the other person let go of possibly hatred in our hearts. And I know what love is. I know that feeling. And that's always worth sharing with somebody, in whatever way you choose to express it. Forrest Gump quote, I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. And that's how I feel. I might not be able to understand this world with my mind. I might not be able to understand why I care so much about certain people or why I did certain things. But I do know what love is. I do know what that feeling in my heart is. And I know that I am pure consciousness. I am not my mind. I am not my thoughts. I'm not the stories I tell myself about who I need to be, about who I should be, or what anybody else tells me to be, because I can't be defined. You can't be defined. We can define ourselves in whatever way we want to, but it's all just words. The ultimate truth is just what it is. It just is. It's just here. It's just this moment right now. That's all it is. I can use as many words as I want to explain things to people, but ultimately, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. And you've got to find that for yourself. And when you can begin to heal yourself by forgiving others who have done you wrong, or apologizing to others that you've done wrong in a way, if that's how you want to describe it, it's worth it. I just feel way better having people know how I really feel. And for some reason that is so hard to do. It seems like it's so hard to do, but it's because I'm creating a story with my mind about what it is. So if I started telling myself a different story about it, well, things might change. But to me, I feel free now, because it's like, at least they know I don't have to be overthinking with my mind. It's just an illusion anyway. And they are connected to me. They are me. So why can't I love them even though they've done something to me? There's no reason to hold a grudge. You know, I believe in second chances. I believe in third chances. I'll probably give somebody more chances than I should. And I guess that's the empath in me, if you want to say that. Or the nice guy in me that I have to try and avoid sometimes, because I'll get so attached to somebody, put them on a pedestal, and try and do everything for them and almost care about their life more than mine. And that's why I've needed to be on my own, to try and find happiness within and not in the external world. No money, no possession can replace the feeling of love that you can feel in your heart right now. I love you all.